Hello, Penguin. Hello, Ant-Man. Centered view. I wonder what that does. Although, I want cursor stuff. Follow cursor on buffer switch. I wonder what that does. Oh, it's in keybinds. It's in the... So, cursor block. But I need to learn what the names are for possible cursor names. I think we want beam, blink, and underline. So in insert, I think we want beam, blink. And in select, we want cursor to be underlined. Whoop. Yep. There we go. Okay. What are we coding today? I'm working on the server of a chat application. I'm porting it to new Zig, async IO, and all that stuff. Is there an lms.txt 40.15 that helps with coding? There is so there's no llms.txt, but there is this. We'll get there eventually, I think. Hopefully. Oh, I think I saw something about maintenance. Maybe it's in maintenance right now, the forum, and it's just an unlucky moment. Although that's weird. Let me try again. Refresh. Yeah, I somehow I suspect that it's my stupid browser being stupid. Or I don't know. Maybe it's a connectivity problem between me and Ziggit. No, on my other computer works. I bet you that it's my browser. Oh, god damn it. Well, in any case, somebody made a CLI tool that prints out in the CLI. It prints as plain text information about the standard library, so that you can basically give that as a tool to agents. That said, Here's what my heartfelt recommendation would be: don't use fucking AI. Just get good at programming. It's much more fulfilling. You can do it, but how can I say? Um, you're hindering your own progress by using AI. That way. I mean, anyway. Um, okay, so what are we doing here? Hey, Karatam, how's Flow? So far so good. There's a few things that I would like to change, but they're minor things. Like one thing that I don't like this thing where it selects things that match what I'm selecting. I don't hate it, but the problem is that I think it should not do white space. Like I think that doing white space is just a bad idea because I don't know. I just find it weird this thing where I click somewhere and I have all the white space selected. And then there's some bugs like here I'm clicking and dragging, and clicking and dragging has this behavior when I go left to the left, and when I go to the right instead it works. And then here I'm on the S, but you see that the moment I move, selection also covers the cell to my left, even though I'm going right. Or in any case, I don't know, maybe I'm jittering to the left, but I'm still staying within this cell. I'm not moving away from this cell. So there is, I think, some math going there wrong slightly. Yeah, that's math slightly going wrong, probably out of by one. But on the left, but also now it's working. Now it worked for a brief moment, and I don't know what made it work. But in general, this is weird. In any case, I wish there was a setting to this. I feel like it would be probably like, even if you like this feature, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to say that you don't want to highlight, like it shouldn't highlight white space ever, in my opinion. But I'm not sure, I'm not a user of that feature, so maybe that is something that you would want to have anyway, in which case I would like to disable the feature. How about the bad news? Yeah, Ban is owned by Anthropic now. I wonder if there's ever been a programming language that had a startup adopt it early, and that startup has an exit that early and that big. Which, to be fair, I have no idea how big the exit was, but one can make an educated guess, and it was probably big. Would it be big? Ban has no business model. I don't think that Anthropic would give a flying fuck about whatever business model Ban might have had. Anthropic has acquired Ban because they use it. It's like they are like in a sense they're like integrating vertically on their stack. So they need Ban because they pump out a bajillion JavaScript thingies, and Ban makes that stuff run cheaper and faster. So that's what they care about, in my opinion. I don't think that even if Ban had a working like Ban cloud, they would really care about that. The Ponzi does vertical integration. Well, you know what? I wouldn't. I mean, there's maybe some Ponzi going on, but AI is not entirely Ponzi. Crypto tends to be a lot more Ponzi than AI. I don't know. It's just it's just a productivity tool that kind of has like some bad side effects. It's kind of bizarre that a JavaScript runtime is probably going to go down when the AI bubble bursts. That is certainly one thing that could happen, right? But you know what? I think I'm optimistic. I think that humanity will survive. Um, I think the problem is that right now everybody uses AI and they think they're a fucking artist, as in, oh, I'll have AI make my blog post for me. I'll have AI write this email for me. I'll have AI. Um, I need to argue this point at the meeting. I'll have AI do the arguing for me. Like, or rather, I have the AI come up with a report that argues my point. And then on the other side, you have people that receive emails that ask an AI to. Here's how it works: the person who wants to send an email has like maybe some bullet points that they want to go through into the email, and they say, "Hey, it's kind of like a decompression system. Hey, AI, take these bullet points, turn them into an email, and the AI takes the bullet points and turns them into like 2 paragraphs, and like I don't know, 200 words. Then the person that receives that email copies the code, copies the contents, and then asks another AI to turn that into a bullet point. And now you have the first you had inflate, and now you have the deflate pass, and you go back to the bullet point list, kinda, right? Kinda, because then you've added noise in the mix. I don't know. Really funny. Um, do-do-do-do-do. You probably want to pick your model where we initialize also this stuff. Also, I'm passing down TCP, UDP. No, but the funny thing is that it's not a compression algorithm. It kind of does the opposite. Instead of compressing stuff, like you have your stuff in a readable format, and then you compress it down to ship it, and then on the receiver end you decompress it. AI does the inverse. You have your stuff at a comfortable human level of compression. You ask AI to blow it up into something more verbose. You ship that, and then on the receiver end, they receive the bloat, and they ask AI, please shrink it down, recap this, shrink it down to a human consumable size. it's it's significantly worse. do, 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 do. Random question: is it possible to work in ZSF despite starting with knowledge of Zig? I mean, as a theoretical question, yes, ish. I mean, I think that only worked with Andrew in a sense. Um, so first of all, we're like a handful of people at the ZSF, so the ZSF is not hiring openly, and the process usually to become a full-time contract or like sorry a contractor to the ZSF is that you need to have been a contributor for a while, and then you get invited to become a core team member. And then once you're a core team member, then you can bill hours. Um, so the answer is that while in theory you don't need to start with knowledge of Zig, you need to eventually get that, well, sooner than later. But in practice, given the uh, given the actual way that this stuff works, um, yeah, when you're being offered a contract, you at that point are knowledgeable. You need to be very knowledgeable, both with Zig and with the compiler itself, probably. Okay, GPA allocator. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay. Um, I'm gonna refill my teacup. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Okay. Ba-ba-dum. Um, so, okay, to quickly recap what I'm doing, I'm upgrading my chat application server to new Zig. It's a mess right now because I had a lot of things that need to be restructured. I had a lot of abstractions that like tried real hard to accommodate for the needs of the event loop that I was using, and boy, am I so happy to rip all that stuff away. The problem is that, well, now I need to rethink this stuff. I need to rethink this stuff, and it will be a while before we get uh, to a running state. And then once we do get to a running state, there's gonna be bugs. So there's also that, and also the client that is not updated. But anyway, okay. So this part seems kind of fine. I think the next thing that I need to tackle is we need to understand how to do cancellation. So if we cancel this guy, we cancel this guy, but each one of these guys needs to be cancelable in its own right. Hmm. 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 Yeah, we need to figure out how to make this whole stuff work. We do not have a ton of tools at our disposal. This is going to be cool. In any case, we can think about the happy path first. So right now, the weirdest thing is that we call this function here, which calls parse on this thing, parse alloc. R is any type. TCP message, read slice. Mm-hmm. And then returns a username. I mean, so far this is fine. Find matching user, check password. Which we do this way. Then we want to send this. Okay, let's look at the sending side. Host sync. We do some state update stuff in here, and then we do host sync, and we call serialize, which writes the messages as is a thing. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, but then we don't do this. We do try client TCP queue put queue. Queue has put all, same as put, but block until all elements have been added to the queue. Put uncancelable, put one uncancelable. Okay, we just want to put one. And we want to put reply. Okay. But this serialize function returns a TCP message, which is not exactly what we want. We want this to return a just this, or maybe it can be a TCP message, but then base PTR. Data. Payload. Oh, because we had also length before. Right, because... Wait, why did we use the length prefix for? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so that means that we can do this, and then here we do put reply dot data. Okay. We're missing GPA. Okay, GPA. So authenticate request is done. I'm convinced. Then we have call join request. With slow, we're missing the preconditions check, but it's fine. And then it's fixed buffer stream. It's not like this. This is a reader. Hey, Neuroside. Hello. Gonna leave my old to do there. If client voice, old voice. We try to leave user. We need GPA. We need IO as well. Actually, maybe we don't need IO. We just need GPA. Neurosite, are you ready for some bug reports? or do you just want to enjoy, I don't know, minding your own business for a while? Okay. I think I told you. Okay, so I don't remember if you saw this yesterday. So this is mouse stuff. So I'm gonna try to select some text, and I'm gonna click on a point and then drag to the right. Look what happens. I click on the R, and as soon as I move, even though I stay in the square, it selects to the left. Which is funny because right now, the funniest thing is that right now I've selected the parentheses and nothing else. Well, in any case, so this is a tiny bug. Here's another one. So if I select to the right, the problem is that I end up with one too many things that get selected. If instead I drag to the left, look what happens. Basically, it doesn't select, although it sometimes does. I don't know exactly what makes it work, but sometimes I can select going to the left like I did just now. Generally can't, but sometimes it works. I don't know. That's it. Oh, these are all Helix mode. Oh, okay. I wonder if it's all the same off by once. It might be, yeah. It might be that it's the math to the left that screws up a little bit, and so this keeps happening in a row. Could be. Okay, Neuroside, I have a question. So let's say for a brief moment I want to try out flow mode. How do I learn how to use it? Like, how do I learn the keybinds and everything else? Flow mode is not model, right? I don't feel like I'm ready to make this jump. You know what? I think I'll keep the buggy behavior because in any case it's minor stuff. It's very, very usable. Almost identical to VS Code. Oh, I see. Well, guess what? I have an extension in VS Code to have Helix keybinds in there. So understood. No, I think I would like to stay more in Helix mode. Even I'll take the bugs. I'll take bugs. Like I just got kind of used to. I do get some productivity boost from Helix keybinds, so it's fine. Okay, call join request, parse reader, get the command, old voice, client voice, md.voice, output value. Could you confirm though that the selection issue is Helix only? Okay, how do I do this? Switch input mode. Okay, so now I'm in flow mode. Yep, I can select left and I can select right. Oh no, my key binds! Ah. Sometimes match intermatch and match around don't work properly when the cursor is on the right side of a matching token. Some of these might have to do with the grammar that you're using, because I believe that these guys, because if you do match, you're using, well, no, this is parentheses. I don't know if it uses three-seater or if it uses a number approach. Yeah, they do rely on the grammar. Okay, so this might be something specific to your three-seater grammar. Yeah, by the way, Neurosite, these are really good movements from Helix that kind of need to be ported over. Basically, in Helix, you can also do, for example, match inner, and then you can do A for argument, and that would select client. If you do inner, it selects client. If you do match around, it selects also the comma. And those are all based on the three-seater grammar. They're really good sometimes. Okay, in any case, we exit from the preview from the old voice channel, I guess. Enter the new voice channel. Media connection details. Oh, right, because this is what we got. And this is not a parse. Ah, look, this is a normal parse. Okay, so this is good. And I can just do .data. Also, wait, this is not TCP send. This is TCP Q dot put one. Oh, also we need to init the queue with a buffer. We need to remember to do that. Ooh, also TCP read can go away. Jesus, so much logic that we can get rid of. Also TCP send can also go away. Yeah. Chat message send request. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's now TCP broadcast. Right. That needs to stay. This is also giving me a TCP message, right? Yeah. Okay. Request received. GPA.free. There's also a new channel create. Authenticate. Was channel create bound to this guy? Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay. Don't do this. Name taken. Okay. You know, use expand selection Alt O in Helix mode is extremely useful. God damn it, it's not grabbing my fucking thing. Um hmm, I don't even know how to use it. Apparently, maybe is that visual mode? I think I might not know how to use it. Also, why is do you have an idea of what I can do to make it stop doing this fucking work? Basically what's happening is that it's grabbing it's seeing that I'm pressing Alt, but it's also seeing the like Apple interpreted Alt keybind. Like, how do you get rid of that shit? I'm guessing it's a ghosty setting. Well, in any case, apparently I don't. I do control I and O, but that's a different thing, yeah. Okay, so this is in a better state. So I'm pressing Alt O. Like, wait, this is not okay. This motherfucker. Look at what it does. or you know what? Wait, maybe this is fine from your perspective. I don't know. It's just funny. Okay, it's a ghosty option. Yeah, because I never even use those weirdo symbols, so I really do not care about that feature. Okay, let's go. Let's go on an adventure. Ghost. Input? No. Let's see my quest stuff. No. Mm, Next option is alt. Oh, wait. So your point is that I should not be using alt. I should be using option. Where the fuck do I even have option in here? You know what? Let's set it to true and let's see what happens next. Oh god. Reload configuration, just set my font size zoom. Okay. Okay, now we're happy. Oh, that is cool. I see. I see what you're saying. So this expands on the parent Tricitor node. That is cool. That is cool indeed. Honestly, I think I would want it um on a more comfortable keybind, but yeah, not bad. No, what does Alt I do? What? I was hoping that Alt I would reduce, but it doesn't. Oh well. Anyway. Okay, so how do I get rid of this thing now? It was a toggle, right? So I can toggle it off. Okay. Okay. Uh I forgot what I was doing. Shrink to first child, okay. Uh close. Okay, I don't remember how this stuff is gonna work. So you know what? Let's just nuke everything that we don't need. We can look at the git log if we want to recover some weight. Fuck it. Your side, here's a question. Is there a setting to disable the thing where I select something and it highlights all the things that match? Because I don't think next previous node is Alt N and Alt P. I see. That makes sense. It's so funny. Anyway, so the problem is that I don't really like when it highlights other stuff. I don't hate it, but my problem is that especially when I select white space and then I have all the white space highlighted. I don't know what to do with it, and it adds noise, visual noise to what I'm trying to do. You have a QWERTZ keyboard? That's your fault, man. That is your fault. Jokes aside, I stopped using an Italian keyboard layout ages ago, and I just went US, and I just make do. I know that in Germany, I'm assuming that you have QWERTZ because you're in Germany. I know that in Germany you have a bunch of accents that you care more about than we do in Italy. I replace all my accents with a quote, a single quote, and I don't care. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here's what I was thinking also about flow. I think I never really understood fully the point of having multiple layouts. Or, well, okay, I don't know how Neurosite thinks about this stuff, but on one hand, like if you just want to look at it from a superficial perspective, you could argue that having support for multiple modes, which includes non-modal and modal, you can think of it as a like a user acquisition trick. Like you allow people to move to your editor more easily because you support what they're already used to. But then you could say that it has a cost because then each mode wants to work in its own way, and it's not immediately obvious that you can design an editor like all the features in your editor in a way that they make sense for all modes. And so you're kind of forced to, I don't know, like to design things around the lowest common denominator. And also you have some parts of your editor design that are controlled by third parties, in the sense that, for example, Helix mode is based on what Helix does. And you can break away from what Helix does in the Helix mode, but it is obviously suboptimal. And well, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a Helix mode, right? Especially if you take it far enough. And so that means that whatever the Helix people decide to do, that's what you have to do as well. But that being said, on the other hand, this is the realization that I had a while ago. If you have one editor that supports multiple input modes, it's kind of like you allow people, like it's an editor where a user can say, you know what, I'm interested. I'm using flow mode, and I've been using flow mode all my life. So I was a hypothetical. I was a VS Code user, and I switched to flow, and I kept using flow, which kind of works as your site was saying, kind of works like VS Code in flow mode. And now I'm getting Vim curious. And so I want to try out the Vim mode I want to try out model editing using Vim keybinds. But then at that point, you can do that from Flow. Like you don't have to abandon all the other things that you're familiar with. That is something I didn't think about. Like the idea that it's that if you make these alternative input modes first class citizens in your editor, it can be a feature, not just a quote unquote user acquisition trick, but it can also be a feature for existing users, like a serious feature, because you can try something out without having to completely change your entire setup. So maybe you have, for example, project configuration files, you have the debugger experience, you have a variety of things that you're already used to that you don't want to change, but you do want to change your input mode to see if model editing, for example, is for you. And you can. Yeah, that's definitely. And then I guess you could say that is like the next level. The next level is that once you become confident enough, you can maybe start from a pre-existing version, like from a pre-existing model editing style, and then you tweak it to your liking. Cool. And we do not need init either. And we don't need destroy either. Okay, so we're left with all the business logic now. Oh no, I toggled. I didn't want to toggle. Just wanted to write the file. By the way, Neurosite, here's another thing where you're superior to Helix already. Helix does not show at all whatsoever diagnostics in files other than the one that you're looking at. So if there is a diagnostic in another file and I'm not tabbed to it, there is no way for me to know that there is a diagnostic there. Space D. Is that a relatively new thing? Because for a while it wasn't the case. Capital D. Oh, I see. Oh, Jesus. What happened in here? Space. Oh, sorry. Space, not workspace diagnostic picker. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, but that wasn't there a while ago, right? No, it's not new, but it's probably what, a year or two? I've been using Helix for more than that. Like for a long time, there just was no way. Space S and space workspace symbols. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So what are we missing here? Oh, to develop fine. Thank you. How to find, I imagine, is the highlight stuff. You know what? I'm interested enough that I'm gonna rebuild flow. I'm gonna pull right away. Thank you. What is Flow? Flow is the text editor that I'm using. Neurosite makes it. It's made in Zig. It has support for multiple input modes. There's like mode for normal people that come from VS Code. There's a mode for Vim people that like Vim keybinds, and there's a mode for Helix for the people that, I don't know, need something slightly kinkier than Vim, I guess. This is so good. Ba-da-ba-bam. It's a wonder why Zig's version is still 0.16, although people are already using it. I don't know. Look, version 0.16 already got an exit in the space, like a startup exit. I don't know what to tell you. Imagine our power once we get to 1.0. I'm joking. So, you know, the thing is that it's 0.16, it's unstable, so you have to update your code whenever a new version comes out, which is obviously annoying. You would prefer not to have to do that. But wait, this is still the old one. So I feel like I'm going insane. I do this. This is still the old one, isn't it? This is the commit 013. I recognize it. Also 228. Why am I not getting the new version? I think it's the tag. Is it not a branch? No, I did pull. Here, I pulled. I'm at D116. I think it's your build script. You're not doing version this way, do you? Or rather, wait. Do I need to do this? Git pull tags. Are you up to date? No. 35AA. No, it's not 35AA because that's the commit ID. So git pull already up to date. So I don't know where the 35AA comes from. Second comment from the top. Oh, you're right. Okay, he's just falling slightly behind. So that makes sense. That's fine. But that doesn't explain why it keeps doing this thing where I build it, but then it gives me the old version. It almost looks like it's a bug in the build system. But if the build system was this broken, we wouldn't be going very far with Zig. So it's either triggering a very weird edge case or something else is going on. Also, wait a second. Why am I building twice? Why am I building twice? Hey, Jim, wait a second. Why was I building twice? Oh, it builds debug and non-debug. Oh, I see. Okay. I was starting to think, wait, there is something really weird going on. Bro, I swear, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I'm getting. And you know what? I bet you that it's not gonna select shit at random, or at least once I disable it. Um, what did you call it? Auto find. It's not mentioned in here, right? Is there a way for me to regenerate this file with all the options in it? Error too short. It will regenerate automatically. Okay. It did not take it. So I guess the error too short was maybe because of... Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. Was that supposed to be space false? It nuked... Oh, it nuked my weirdo command. Okay, but if it has all the options, then there should be a auto find in here, right? So... Hmm. Hmm. How can you tell that I'm definitely on the latest commit? Or like you're talking about the repo, right? Not the build itself. So edit configuration is not keeping my change to that variable because it doesn't like what I did. What was it? Enable auto find false. Write quit open flow unknown config value enable auto find ignored. Okay, so um okay, zig out / bin flow still old. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. You're not putting this stuff in bin. Bin only updates when I'm making shit. That is the problem. I guess it's a different build that puts stuff in bin. You're putting this stuff in macOS Arch 64. That is the problem. Neurosite. Neurosite. Man, god damn it. Don't use a release build. What do you mean? Of course I want to use a release build. No! You shouldn't do it this way. Okay. Serious talk for a moment. Here's how you should do it. Give yourself a release subcommand. And in your release subcommand, you make like proper releases for publishing where you cross compile. But you should allow a user to make and in this version, you also make sure to target a baseline CPU, that kind of stuff. But you should allow users, like by default, users should be able to make release builds of the software for themselves where they target also their own native CPU. And why shouldn't it be in there? I was told that's what the dash release is for. Oh, wait, you're saying that that's on me? Oh, you know what? Maybe that is on me. So you're saying that this is gonna do it right? I've never encountered a build script that actually had different behavior based on which I specified, which thing I specified. You're right. No, but in any case, you're right that dash dash release. Okay. Apologies. That's on me. I have been 100% abusing this flag, and that's on me then. Never mind. Okay, that explains everything. There we go. Okay, that works. Thank you. That is, I did this to myself. To do, you're supposed to double down. Yeah, I know, right? Server.zig. Find. Oh, there you go. No more visual spam. That's nice. Thank you. Man, I wish that Zig would just like sort these bad boys. That would that would be nice. Although that wouldn't be enough, but I wish it sorted them in a smart manner. Anyway, so server. Okay, we're back. Yeah. Okay, so okay, let's run through everything again. So this is our main thing. This is how we accept. We begin accepting. I don't know yet how to make cancellation work in this context. That's gonna be something that I need to learn about. Client sender. Then we have client. Do you have all the individual thingies in here? So the UDP stuff. GPA. Okay. Oh wait, you also did the thing where oh shit, W shows up first now. Awesome. Okay. Wait a second. Why am I seeing wait, on save? I'm seeing this. And then there's 9 hidden errors. What is the difference between one thing and the other? Also, you could argue that these errors are more pressing than the other error that I was seeing. Set UDP. Okay, here. Hmm. I'm guessing it's like this. Expected 0 arguments found 1. Okay. Save. Okay. There we go. Come on, found source selection. Fuck. That's also nice to have. You need to always add local errors to the file list view. I usually just jump to them. That is a fair argument to make. Yeah, you're saying you see them already, so you don't show them at the bottom. Yeah. I don't have a strong opinion. So, Neurosite, when are you implementing function signature help and like showing documentation? I'm assuming that it's not implemented and that's why it doesn't show up and it's not like just disabled by default. So it's already implemented. In command in Helix is space K. Unable to load udp.zig. Yeah, but who's trying to load udp.zig? Um, hold control for hover. Oh, I see. But you don't have anything that shows that stuff as you are typing the function, right? Okay, this is cool, by the way, though. So like, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, I didn't try it yet. Space. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Hey, I want to see this thing. Show me this. Oh no. Uh. Oh no. um. You can also auto hover by adding word to the idle actions list. Idle actions is actions that happen when you select a thing. Like, what is the semantics? I'll do it. Okay, so it's always going to be there. When the cursor stops moving, okay, so like you're here, and I see cancel. I see. This is a little bit too much. So I think I think this is a reasonable feature I think to have where the idea is you're calling a function, right? So you want to see what the signature is. So you're doing IODO concurrent. Oh, on top of that, look, this one is not even going to work because here I have IO and I do dot concurrent. And then I'm in here, but it's not going to show anything because it would need to show me this. But, well, my point is that it's nice to be able to see the function signature when you're tapping the function out. That's it. Which personally, I would see this not as something that is in competition with the error box, because in the end, it's like it's a temporary thing. Yeah, a floating box at the bottom, I don't know, but it's something that you just want to keep there and not interact with, and have ephemeral only as you're into the function. It's part of the LSP completion interface. Could be. Also, here's another related to this. It's nice also when this works when the function is already present. So like I also like the ability to click into a function. So let me show it to you. Like I click into a function and oh, and it also this only shows up when you're in insert mode. That's another thing that is nice. So in normal mode, it doesn't spam you, but then when you're in insert mode and you're inside a function, you see the help menu and it tells you which argument you're filling out. It tells you which argument you're currently on. I don't know if you can see this on. Yeah, you should be able to see this. I have a shitty monitor that almost shows no difference in color between these two things, but this is nice, and you can see that as I move around, the highlight moves with me. Yeah, the way yeah, I don't know exactly what's the right way of showing it, but I think it's also nice if for example, one thing that Helix doesn't do is show you nicely documentation for each argument. So if each argument has documentation, then it doesn't I don't remember how you see it, but it's kind of crappy. So what would be super cool if you could also like show that nicely, as in when you're at a given argument, then you see documentation for that argument. Something like that. I don't know. That said, I understand that it's probably kind of not immediately trivial feature because you have to kind of know some stuff about what's going on. Uh, okay, so what is going on in here? So I'm gonna go try to remove this. Can I keep this down? Oh, it will pop up again. Yeah, it's kind of spammy. Okay, who is it that wants udp.zig so hard? Oh, it's us in here. Did I ever move? Oh, you know what? I never moved receive UDP. Fuck. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted that file that way. It's fine. Ba-ba-dum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-dum. Okay, and then now we're the last trouble that we have is these segmented list stuff. Unsupported column type U64. Wait a second. Error. Okay, no. Wait, what? Okay, so this error is not this one. This error isn't in a file. So this is a runtime error. I guess the build step is running or something like that. The check step is running. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay. Try. Sure. Okay, then unsupported column type. And that is on us because it's in here, the problem. Um expected type T found const T, right? This guy wants to mutate server? Why? Well, fine, I guess. No, that actually doesn't explain it. Why does accept want to mutate server? I don't think it has a reason. Oh, oh God, oh God, I hate this stuff. Expected three arguments found two. Instant dot now. Missing tuple filled with index two. What? What? What the fuck? Okay. Missing GPA. That is so weird though. What a way of saying that. Right, it's not buff. Is there no write back all? Oh, there we go. Why is it not right next to it? Crazy. Ionet socket. Okay. So the arguments found too. What are we missing? IO. Do we need? But do we actually need IO? Oh yeah, we do for the sleep. And actually, it's IO and then GPA. Oh no, I failed. Oh, if I had my editor, I would know how to do this one with one edit, but I don't know anymore. Eh. Okay. Excited type IO reader found pointer to IO.reader. It is a good point. These interfaces come by pointer. Oh shit. I Federal union type found void because receive UDP cannot fail. Uh, this make it errorable. Do MH MM. But are you giving me flow aware information? So MM. Well, that would be matching a reward. Unfortunately, not. Oh, I see. Alt mouse one. Oh, that's actually nice. Yeah, that's basically the state that I want to get myself into in Helix normally. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll keep that in mind, Alt mouse one. That can be like a temporary fallback. Thank you. UDP init. What is your problem, man? Don't tell me. There's no the init. Close. For type struct any error. Okay, so where we're logging an error the wrong way. For this one, we want reference trace. Failed command. Oh no, all my metaprogramming is catching up to me, huh? In Fatal IO. Also on your side. So in these other editors, you can just do colon and then line number and you can get there. I saw that there is a go to line, but what is a fast go to line? No, where is this shit sending me? Oh, 595. Okay, obviously. Number then G. Oh, you mean in normal mode, like 10G? No, 10 uppercase G. I have no idea how to do that. Yeah, I think it's kind of broken in Vim. Hey, Dimo, right. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Okay, so run 157. Go to line 157. Hello, people joining. Welcome. Thank you, Dimo Roy, for the raid. Here's what we're doing. We're doing two things at once. On one hand, we are porting the server side of a chat application that I worked on a while ago that I'm resuming the development of. And at the same time, I'm trying a new editor called Flow, which has some cool features and has a work in progress Helix mode. So I'm a Helix user and I'm willing to let go of Helix the implementation, but not yet willing to let go of Helix the keys bind scheme, model editing, etc. And so I'm using Flow. The Helix mode is not perfect yet, but it's like very, very usable. So that's what I've been doing. So you'll see me now like try to wrap my head around a new editor as I edit stuff. And yeah, we're zigging. In the meantime, we're zigging and listening to Electroswing. Hey, always was tempted to try and learn Zig. One of the things that have kept me back were availability of additional resources. I'm guessing you mean learning resources. I'm a book learner, but the books out there for Zig seem fake being AI generated and ripoffs. There are, I think, a couple of human written books. So I'll tell you about them. So if you go to ziglang.org, there is one book here. This one from Pedro Pac. This one is legitimate. This is a real book. It's made from a member of the community, so this one is recommended. Yeah, Bork send. I'll send the link to the. I'm assuming that you don't want to compile the book by yourself, so you probably want to see the version that is online. Then there's another one from Manning. I have not read this, so I don't know how good it is, but this is made by a human being. Man, this is where the bar is at, right? We're not even arguing whether the book is good or not. We're saying, is it at least human, written by a human being? That one is, for sure. Both of those are. So, I don't know. Hopefully that should unblock you. I will say also another thing. Meiosis crashing. Here's another extremely effective way of learning Zig. You go to zig.day. You see if there is a Zig day near you. And if possible, you try to join it. These are Zig meetups, but they're not like short meetups at the end of the day where you listen to talks and then everybody goes their own way, or you go to a bar. These run on Saturdays usually, sometimes Sundays, and they take the full day, and it's collaborative. They are like day long collaborative programming sessions. So everybody meets in the morning, everybody says what it is that they want to work on. You can decide to, or you can even show up even if you don't know what you want to work on. So what then people do is that they form small groups where maybe you find somebody else who is doing something interesting, so you decide to join them. And you learn a lot at these events, and you have the opportunity of interacting with other human beings who can unblock you. Can anybody organize one? Sure. Down here, there's a link. No Zig Day near you. Become a Zig Day organizer. So you can see what it takes. Are good places to start for me? I don't know, man. How can I answer this question? I don't know if they are good places to start for you specifically. They're books. They are made by human beings. Some effort has been put into making them good. I cannot guarantee you success, but they're not scams. So I guess, yeah. Also, I don't know if anybody here cares, but December 6th, so 3 days from now, we're going to have one in Milan. We're going to have a Zig Day in Milan. And I don't know, in case there's Italians around here, it's in Milan, not too far from the central train station. It's actually Garibaldi, so it's going to take you like just a blink of an eye to get there. Actually, you know what? I don't know why I'm getting much into detail with this, but just in case, you get to the central station, you grab the green train, the green metro line to Garibaldi. Then there's a way of walking down the last train track, and there's an exit here on the side. There's actually more than one. You exit from the exit here on the side, and then you walk to the location. It's extremely straightforward. Well, it's very what I just described is much better than going from outside. You have to walk more if you go from the outside. And yeah, there's also going to be a Tiger Beetle event at the end. At the end of the day, there's also going to be the Tiger Beetle World Tour, where I'm going to demo some stuff that I've been doing with my client. You know what? I'll actually say I have a quiz. A quiz. It's more like a brain teaser. I'm just gonna give you the brain teaser part. I'm not gonna give you the answer. If you want to hear the answer, you'll need to come to the event, or you can wait a little bit more, and then eventually I'll make a proper talk about it. But here's the question. And people who come normally to the stream will know the answer already, because this is something that I've been working on stream a while ago. But why does everybody do connection pooling when connecting to databases? And especially, why do people do connection pooling when connecting to stuff like Redis? Redis is single-threaded. Nowadays, there's a bit of nuance there, because Redis is not pure single-threaded anymore. But this doesn't matter much for what I'm trying to get at. So let's assume that let's think about a Redis that is slightly older, back when it didn't have any form of multi-threading, and it was purely single-threaded. So here's my question. Because people were doing connection pooling against Redis also then. Why are people doing connection pooling if the server is single-threaded, and no matter what, it can only handle one request at a time? So even if you open 10 connections to it, it will still pull one request from one of the 10 connections at a time, process it, write the reply, and then proceed to the next request, which can be on any of the 10 connections. So what is the point of connection pooling at that point? And also, on paper, given what I just said, you could argue that you don't need connection pooling then. And yet it seems, they might be wrong, so there might be some nuance there, but people have not been doing connection pooling because they're like completely insane. People have experienced the fact that by adding a connection pool, things were better. But why? Why, if the server is single threaded? And the point is not just like, the point is understanding the problem space in general, not just answering the specific question of why they think it's better with a connection pool. But like, why are people doing this? Why do they think it's better? The thing is single threaded. Why would a connection pool make it better? Anyway, so think about it. Also, we have, I think we have 5 or 6 spots available here. So if you want to come, there's not a ton of spots. Also, if you speak English, you can come. Don't worry, I'll be there. Also, other people who speak English as well. Actually, I would say that people were better at speaking English at the Milan meetup when the core team was there than the Germans at the Nuremberg meetup. Not that I ever felt excluded or anything like that, but although to be fair, I think probably, you know what, I take it back, because at the Nuremberg Zig Day, probably the only person who didn't speak German was me. So yeah, that's different. Anyway, with connection pooling, you will be web scale compliant in marketing material. True. True facts. True. Okay, I forgot everything about what I was doing. Oh, I was trying to figure out this thing. 157 in server.zig and then 136. So we're doing fatal IO. Wait, you cannot do fatal with an error? You need a tag? Is it because this cannot be n type erased? I am so confused. Did we invalid for string FNT for type, invalid for string T for struct any error? Struct any error? Oh, wait. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. No, I'm not a fucking idiot. What's going on? Oh, here's what's going on. There we go. Okay. It's me messing up the metaprogramming. Okay, now we can go look at the other errors. Protocol. So this is TCP message, which is doing metaprogramming, and this doesn't work anymore. Fuck. No field name int. Is it lowercase now? Yeah, the lowercase did. There's no read int. In IO reader. Also, this is not any type. This is an IO, is a pointer to IO.reader. Oh, XCV, no more XCV. Take int, you're right, it's take int. Thank you. Read no EOF, read slice. So we get the length. Connection pools are loved for papering over latency and concurrency issues. Yeah, that tracks. Um, that tracks, but I think you can make a, you can make a spicier point. I guess about the concurrency issues more than anything else. I only say web loves connection pooling for when you don't know how you can cache locally. We have a different data for every user on every request. Yeah, but you could multiplex a connection. Like you could use a single database connection to drive multiple requests. Okay, so how do we do read no EOF? This is read slice something, right? Read slice all, read slice, take slice. Okay, wait. Turn this into a reader first, and then read slice. There's completion which you can fuzzy search. Good point. How do I access that? So in Helix, I always turned off autocompletion because what happens is that autocompletion starts like shows a drop down menu here with all the options, and it eats my arrow down keystrokes. So like if I try to go up or down when that menu pops up, it eats my movement, and not only it eats my movement, but it also instantly puts the selection in the buffer. So basically, as I'm moving around, that freaking autocomplete thing pops up at random because it's driven by the LSP, and then it poops in there one autocompletion entry, corrupting, like clobbering whatever was written in there, and then the menu goes away, and then I continue moving. It's so dumb. In Helix, last I checked, you could not rebind those movement keys. So like, fuck that. Control plus. Okay, I see. Fuck, plus is not really in a comfortable position for me. Yeah, I cannot do control plus that easily because I don't have an easy plus control plus period that I can do. That's nice. You know what? I actually love this. I'll take this because I'm actually fine with not having autocompletion like be always there. And nice. This is nice. So read slice all. Let's see. Fill buffer. Actually, no. Space K. Fill buffer with the next buffer len bytes from the stream. Advances seek position. Invalidates previously return from peak. But that can fail, which returns also EOF as a failure. I don't know. I think it's fine in this case. Oh, right. This is an instant now. How does an instant work? Has a time, blah, blah, blah. I guess I can do dot timestamp. Or I can use instance as keys directly. It's kind of the same thing, I guess. POSIX time spec. Jeez. kernel time spec except else extern struct second and sec I size I size. Jesus. Okay, how do you get a less insane instant? Oh, scenes. But it wants another instant. Fits inside a U64. Huh. Um, let's take a look at this guy. So this guy has connection time of a TCP socket as a unique identifier. Okay, but if I put that as an, it's not gonna work, right? Time.instant. Are you gonna like it? Okay, you did like it. It seems well for now. TCP size. Is anybody using TCP size? TCP size. Honestly, we don't care about this because we don't care about the size of the full message anymore. Oh, there we go. I see. That's how it was. We were doing it. Okay. Fuck it. Where's the undo history? No. That's the other file. There we go. Okay, let's fix this. I guess this is gonna be now this. Oh, put one once IO. Huh. Right. Now my IDs don't work anymore because I used to think that a 64-bit ID was good enough. I still think that we should have access to some of these stuff. I mean, I guess I could try to subtract a date from the instant to get the 64-bit number. So we could do TCP client is connected at minus since, and then we need a like a 1990 instance as a joke, which should work fine. Or we could do these IDs from the start of the server. That's actually probably the better idea. Yeah. So like in state, we do server start. And in run, no, you cannot catch this way. This is so embarrassing. Okay. So with this way, we have server start. And you know what? In TCP connected at, we do put that. I've decided. So now I can do Alt O to go up. Cut. That is so nice. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I think I want a block. Is that fixable? I don't know. I think there's a reason why mlog hasn't done it yet. And it's probably because it's either hard or error prone, or they're just being conservative and not adding too much magic around it. Would be nice though if it worked, huh? It works with try. Why wouldn't it work with catch? I don't know though. Nice. Are you using any format and save? Yes. Had any issues? No, none whatsoever. Okay, there's this TCP broadcast stuff. TCP broadcast. Actually, do we need IO? I'm not even sure. Probably we do. Can it happen that two connections are accepted in the same nanosecond? So I don't remember all the details of what I was working on, but I remember that at some point I was playing around with this idea of a unique ID generator system that was based on the clock that would actually sleep if you asked it to generate two IDs in the same nanosecond. Actually, it wasn't exactly like that. The way it would work is that it would be less precise, and it would use some of the bits as a sequence number. So if you asked it to produce multiple IDs in the same nanosecond, or I don't remember if it was nanosecond, but in the same like small unit of time, it would produce them with a sequential suffix. So instead of giving, it would be basically, imagine like nanosecond 0, nanosecond 1, same nanosecond, like n, ID index 1, index 2, index 3, blah, blah, blah. But then you would run out of those bits potentially, and then it would sleep. So long story short, you can pull it off. Keep in mind that this is all like, I'm trying to make this work. This is all like a prototype, and a lot of things are like not fully designed and just made to kind of work. Like the majority of the work that I did in the past was in the client. That is not to say that I'm gonna keep this as crappy as it is like this forever, but I just want to get to a building state at least, and I'm far from that still. Uncancelable? Put one uncancelable? I think it should be more like something like try put one or something. Is there like a try put? No, we don't have any of the try versions of these functions. It's annoying. What do we do on panic? I don't know. We catch panic. Also, it wants IO, probably. ID, bitcast, SCD time timestamp. Control J. I see. Chat message send request. Yeah, where did my where did all my fancy like unique IDs stuff go? I guess I wasn't using it in the end. I think I was using millisecond precision, and then I was using any bits below that that were like basically freed from this process. I was making them sequential. D2, I don't know where I had this stuff that I was working on. There we go. D2 ID. It's in here. And that's where it's happening. Oh, and then yeah, there's also the backwards jump of the clock problem. Uh, I don't remember. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, ID is oh, that sucks. I think we need a function that does this, honestly. Actually, and we can make it work from the server start automatically, so we don't have to worry about it. Yeah. So this one is just now. Hmm. Oh, I actually did that correctly already. Okay. Right. TV broadcast. Oh, also real time. Wait, what? Holy shit, we don't have any more build errors to fix. Why not name the function get ID rather than time related, since the purpose is to produce IDs? No, you're totally right. I'm just doing a sloppy job because I'm not thinking about improving like the semantics match. I'm just trying to adapt the old code to make it build. We build. It seems that we build. Do we also run? Could it be that we run? So yeah, we generated the server. All right. Although we added spam in here. No run on build, only build. Yeah. Okay. So here we have a database. So if we try to init, it's gonna fail because the database already exists. By the way, I was able to get the database also to print errors out, which is nice. Next step is run. Okay. Jesus, we got out real fast. Starting TCP interface, starting UDP interface, server started, immediately shutting down, and then some leaks. The leaks are expected. That's fine. How did the SQLite stuff go? It was fine. The client that I'm using right now is okay as far as I can tell, and this is what I needed. I needed last error, which prints an error string describing the last error, and so this way I can now get like these messages. Like this comes from the server. Sorry, from the from SQLite. Table settings already exist, so that is enough information to diagnose issues. So why are we immediately shutting down though? This is kind of interesting because in theory we should not, because once we enter run, here we should be selecting on these two futures, and this should block. Like these call to io.select should block. Because neither future should work immediately unless something goes wrong first. Like if there's an error that happens, then fine. But otherwise, yeah, select should be blocking. Select should return when one of these two futures returns, but it doesn't. Like this should be basically the equivalent of doing this. It should be the same as doing this. At least in my mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but in my mind, this should block here. So I think it's a bug in the implementation. To be fair, select is not something that that we stressed much. In any case, what if you don't ignore the return value? That doesn't matter because we should not be getting a return value unless you're saying that you need to await that. But maybe I am misusing select, but I don't think so. Cancelable and select union. It's a type. No, because you're supposed to stuff select immediately into a select. Sorry, immediately into a switch. So yeah, I think it's a bug. Anyway, Yeah, we got it kind of working. Now, does this work with the client whatsoever? We don't know. And it will be a while before we can know, but I would say this looks good already. We have some logging going on. We have we're speeding up a TCP listener, a UDP listener. This is nice. Even though I wasn't being too thorough in making things, as perfect as I can make them, even the little work that I did was so much better. So we're getting there. In the meantime, David has been working on updating DVUI to the new version of Zig. So I would say we're in business. We are, I would say, definitely in business, or about to get there. The next thing that I need to figure out is cancellation. Like, I need to make shutdown, like graceful shutdown, work. And this is not immediately obvious to me how to do that. So we're going to need to figure that stuff out. We are going to need to figure this stuff out. Definitely. But that's nice. So not too bad. Not too bad at all, I would say. Not too bad at all. So I think I might end the stream here, because the more serious work with the client, with the server, I kind of have to think about it, and I don't want to be on stream as I do that. And yeah, but bit by bit, we are modernizing this code. It's not actually all that bad. Once I removed a bunch of like tortured things that I was doing to make it work with libxcv, because libxcv required callbacks. Like, it's not that libxcv was bad in on itself. The problem is that libxcv required callbacks, while now we don't have to. Now we have coroutines. We have either multiple threads or green threads or whatever. And so we can make it look like it's sequential code, which is nice. At panic is debug print plus exit. It's debug print the message plus the stack trace plus exit one. Yeah, this theme is IO Dark. This one is panic was unreachable. No, I would look at it the other way around. I would say that in debug mode, unreachable equals panic, and in release mode, unreachable equals UB. Is panic more similar to unreachable or exit? I will look at it the other way around again. I would say that unreachable is mapped to panic in debug builds and release safe, and it's mapped to UB when in release fast or release small. Panic is this. Panic is literally implemented as this, right? Function panic. I don't know, like message. It's literally implemented as this. Simplified. I'm simplifying this. Think of this as pseudocode. So this is what panic is implemented as, roughly speaking. And then undefined becomes this in debug and release safe. and instead becomes UB in release fast. For some reason, IU Dark doesn't look like this in Z. I'm sorry. Danik, there's only one solution to your problem, you know? You gotta switch to Flow. There's no other way. I mean, I'm not the one that makes the rules, but you do want the cool looking theme, right? And I think it's literally impossible for you to have the cool looking theme unless you switch to Flow. You can try to copy it out, but I think it loses vibrance as you know, it's a copy, so it's not the same as the original. Only one way. Anyway, I hope this helps. So we're getting back in business. Everybody, exciting times are ahead. So thank you for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. And yeah, I'm going to call it a day. See you next time. Bye. Actually, let me see for rating. Anybody doing Zig?